Hi, everybody. So great to be back and share with you. It's been so long. Gosh, I think it's been since February, and we're almost in July. So I feel guided to come back on here now to start sharing with you again. I don't do this just to do it. I need to feel guided to do it, inspired to do it, and that comes from Papa, my God, my Creator, my angels. And when I get that inspiration and that little nudge that says, I want you to do this, it's time. I listen. So I'm doing this for him and for you. It helps me too, but that's not really why. This is for you, if I can help you, because that's what he wants me to do, and I want to help people. I love that. So I haven't been here for a long time. I've been having a lot going on in my life, work, love, and life, to be more specific, and lost that inspiration, and I had a lot of ups and downs in like every area and needed to stabilize myself, and I needed more lessons to learn from. And now I'm in healing, and I'm still continuing to. Every day is a struggle, right? Every day life brings on struggles into us that we have to overcome, obstacles and lessons, and you can either fight them or go in with the flow. And I've learned that fighting him just doesn't work for me. It just makes it worse. So I learned going with the flow is the way to go. Just go with it, right? And never give up. I don't do that. So anyway, let me share with you what happened. So in February, first let me do this, please. It's not going to be perfect. This video won't be perfect. I'm going to be very authentic and genuine with all you guys. So, and that's how I want it to be from now on. And that's how God is telling me to do this. He's saying, Louise, just do it from the heart. Because I kept asking him how to do this. I said, how am I going to do this again? How do you want me to present this? And that's what he said. He said to me, he said, Louise, from the heart, from the heart. That's the little whisper I got from him. It's beautiful, isn't it? From the heart. Ah, that's his beautiful heart. It's where everything runs through our heart, right? And that's love, where it goes, where it lives. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So this video is from the heart. And I do want to thank God and praise him and my angels and all my spirit guides for guiding me, protecting me, loving me through everything, my whole life for one. And the last few months, it's been so hard. And helping me to channel this today for you. Thank you. Okay. So February, we lost someone, people that know me and are friends with me, that grew up with me, all know, that February we lost Keith, and I won't give him a last name, but that really hurt. It really hurt. I haven't been with Keith for a long time, but I really loved him, and I always will. Even though you're not with somebody, you still love them, right? Even most of us still love that person, even if we can't be with them for one reason or another. And it just happened that I tried a lot and it didn't work. So it wasn't healthy for me, and I couldn't be in that, but I still loved him and I wanted the best for him. That's real love, right? That's unconditional love. And his health meant everything to me, and his safety. And my condolences to all of his families and close friends, or friends in general, and anybody who was affected by that loss. It's a great loss. So anyway, and then after that, so I had to heal with that too. I had a lot of minor health issues that came up, but they were one after the other. I was battling with that, healing from that. And then I had to, really build my stability, my financial stability, my job, my work life, which I'm in a good place now. But, and then I had one other relationship with someone very special to me, off and on. And, a lot of ups and downs. Again, a lot of lessons learned. Very just hard. And I have, again, we all have our role. We all play a part in what goes down. And I'm accountable for what I, allowed in my life, and what I accepted and what I played, and just like the other person needs to be, right? That's how we grow and learn, right? So anyway, then I thought the last thing was like, how can I really teach people about healthy relationships? I can love, but healthy relationships, let's face it, I haven't been successful in. I know that, I know it, okay? So, a lot of people would think that's being a hypocrite, right? And so I don't want to be that. I want to be real. I want to do the right thing. And so I really thought long and hard about it, and I prayed about it. And I was, God showed me. He said to me, Louise, he said, I don't want you to teach so much about healthy relationships right now in your life. I want you to show people what's not healthy. Not healthy. Which surprised me, but it made sense, because that's what I can do. He said, let's just, show people what it looks like. Because, a lot of us go in these relationships. I know I did all these years. I've been in a few relationships, and I had no clue what was going on, what was wrong. And I would go into the next one, not healed, not learning, and do it again. So, so he basically said that. He said, Louise, let's show them. Let's just show them. And then luckily with Papa, he's helped me to see, finally, now what is good and what's not, and understand it. But it takes a lot of work, and I like to do the work. I do. And I'm a knowledge seeker, truth seeker. I'm investigator. I love all of this stuff. So to me, I love it anyway, to do it. That comes more naturally for me, I guess to say. It took a while, but now it does. Not at the beginning. I'm gonna go back with that. Not at the beginning. It was foreign and frustrating and aggravating and hurting. It was hell. Anyway, yeah. So, so I can do that. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna teach about what I've seen in unhealthy relationships. So I get a lot of knowledge there, And if it helps you, great. That's what I want and what Papa wants. And maybe you can learn before I did. So you can either, save the relationship, heal it, do the work, heal it, or if that doesn't work, then you have to do what's healthy for you, right? Because we all deserve to be happy and healthy. We do. And deserve that love that God gave us, right? From the beginning, which lacks so much in this world, especially now more than ever, which is sad. But we can fix that, right? Spreading the love really does love to do that. It does. Love knows no boundaries, and it just wants to keep on giving, keep on growing, keep on spreading. So the more love you give out, it just spreads out over the world. That's what's so beautiful about that, right? It is. I love love. So anyway, yeah. So relationships, and then I thought, well, okay, how do I like to learn about things, because there are people that can actually, that will go and study and, learn things by studying it and then be able to share it with other people, and it works great and it's wonderful. But then there's others who teach through their experience, right? Their testimony. And that's, for me, that's a really even better way to learn, because you connect so much at a deeper level with what's being taught, and you can in a more personal level, right? And because you know that the person who's teaching it knows how it feels like to go through what you're going through. And how did they get over that? How did they overcome that, So that's huge. That's huge. That, to me, that's even a better way. So, even though a lot of crap has happened in my life, to say nicely, in relationships, and I've been part of it, I wouldn't do it again if this would help you the most. And I think it can. So that's why I'm going to give it my best. Okay? So I'm glad I just talked about that anyway. But I want to just share with you some things about me, because I don't know if you really understand where I'm coming from. My relationship with my Papa, God. And for one, it took me, it felt like an eternity for me to build that relationship. I didn't have it like that, like I do now, for a long, long time. I mean, I felt connected and close, but I really didn't have this personal touch to it, and I do now, and it's so beautiful. The most beautiful relationship I've ever experienced, and I want to keep it that way, and I'm going to just keep making it more beautiful. It really is, if you let it, if you open the door to Him and you just start talking to Him personally. I know prayers are great and everything, but when you talk to Him on a personal level, guess what? He does too. He will. I think back, I was raised like a Catholic Christian, right, girl, and I think of that Apostle Creed prayer, I believe in God prayer, and how much I was saying it, and to me it meant, that you believe in something that you can't see, but you believe, it's faith, right? That's your faith. So you know, but as time went by, I was able to actually experience not only believing what I didn't see, but I saw. And I do. And I'm not mentally ill like that. Yeah, I may have had depression, anxiety, but I'm not crazy, okay? And I don't have schizophrenia, and I'm not psycho, and none of that. This is all spiritual. So I've been blessed with that, but I did have to open the door to him, for that to happen. And like I said, going to church is great. I love my Catholic faith, and it's really gave me that great foundation in it. But taking my own personal journey to him, and the journey he put me on too, is what did it. But I found out through the years, now that I look back and I can see, what's happened. And as when you're older, you can look back on your life sometimes and say, oh, look, I understand. Look at this happened, that happened, and then that happened, and it kind of flowed into each other. And and I'm here now, and he kind of did that for me. He doesn't show you everything all at once, because we couldn't, as humans, bear it. We couldn't take that, So he gives it to us in pieces, little bits here and there. And so I found out anyway that I have some gifts that he's given me, which I love, and I want to just keep on enhancing. And I have a gift of clairvoyance. I do have a gift of seeing. I dream. I have a gift. I dream what's coming up in the future. Sometimes I will get these like prophetic, in a sense, dreams. And I had them in my life, and they happen later on. And I didn't know that's what was going on at the time. They're not always clear when I do get them. And then it happens, and I'm like, oh, look, that's what I have. That's my dream. So it kind of slowly showed me that. And the same, I have clear audience sometimes, not as often, but sometimes I can hear him as well, clearly in my dream. I hear conversations, that's being said, and then mostly in my dream is really my dream. Everything, my majority of it is my intuition. It's like it's an inner knowing. It's just my gut feeling, and it's just so strong, And then, and the more I practice it with it, the more I practice listening to it, the more it's heightening, it's becoming even more stronger. So it's beautiful. But I get daily messages now, even little things. Like I go to work and I have this, something comes in, and then I go to work and that's what it is, Something simple as in the mailbox. Oh, I'm gonna get this in the mail today, and I do. Not knowing, things, those are little things. And then I get bigger things like this, like I just shared with you about doing this with him. And so that's beautiful, isn't it? But I only started to really notice that after I became spiritually awoke. I had a huge spiritual awakening back in 2000, I think 18. Yeah. He drew me in. But he's always been showing me. He's been there through my visions, but I just didn't understand it at that point. Now I do, like I said. So, yeah. For example, just for example, I'll give you a couple, okay? Because it's fun, right? Okay, so, like for example, I knew I was sitting on my porch, my mother's porch at her apartment and back in my hometown one day in the summer, and I said to her, I said, Mom, I had a dream that who is my sister-in-law, Paula, is pregnant. And I know she'd been married a few years with my brother, and they didn't have any children. And we got a phone call that, I don't know how long, maybe an hour or so, whatever, from Paula, my sister-in-law, saying she was expecting. So, that's that. I had that happen. I had not so good things happen, like, I went through a lot, and, with my children and my family, right? And, as some of you know, and I'll go more into that, but, things happened, and I didn't get to raise them to their age of 18 like I would have loved to. And their father did, and his wife. So, but I remember when my oldest son, Nick, was only about 3 months old, and I was sleeping, and I had a dream. And I don't remember the dream so much as what I felt when I woke up. I woke up from a dead sleep, stood bolt upright in bed, like just saturated, wet, just in cold sweat and fear, and thinking, oh my God, my kids are going to be taken from me. And I only had Nick at the time, and also said I'm going to be alone. So it happened a few years later. So those are the kind of dreams. I'll meet someone and say, oh, I know that person is going to do this. I know, I see, I know. So and then another big one, and I really want to share this because it's beautiful, so beautiful. I did have an encounter with him, with God, with Jesus. Came to see me in a vision in my dream. I was after my divorce with my first husband, and it was so beautiful. I remember how amazing I felt, the peace and the love from it. It's unbelievable, the most beautiful thing in the world, most beautiful thing to feel, to experience. But I was struggling because my parents wanted me to start a new life in Pennsylvania, way out of New Hampshire, and I've never been anywhere, never been. So I was afraid anyway. I was very shy and I was afraid of everything. And I never, especially with things that I didn't know, so fearful of, and then have control over. So I was struggling with that, and I wasn't wanting to. And so I went to bed every night with my rosary beads in hand for a long time, praying and praying, and so he came to me in a dream. And the way it happened was that I was with my father. We went into this beautiful cathedral called St. Anne's Parish in Berlin. And many of you that live there know about that big, beautiful church. And there was one person in the church, and it was a priest, and he was up in the altar facing the tabernacle and the cross on the wall. His back was to us, and my father and I walked to the altar. When we got to the altar, he turned around, and it was Jesus. It was Jesus, and he was glowing. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. The light that he just came off of him it was soft, beautiful, warm. I could feel it. There were no words spoken at that moment, but I could feel the love, the peace, the comfort, just by the look in his eyes and by looking at him. He had this most loving look. He was looking at me, and he smiled. And I knew just by that one look that he knew everything about me, everything I've ever done in my life, good or bad. And and he loved me anyway. That's how he made me feel, by just looking at him. And, I wasn't thinking of anything that night when I went to bed. This has just happened. So it's, it was beautiful. It was real. And automatically, I fell to my knees. I dropped. I didn't even have a chance to even think. I just down on my knees, face to the ground. And it was just the way it was. I didn't choose that. Like I said, just the way it happened, because he was so pure. To be in his presence, I wasn't worthy. And the next thing I did hear is he said, "Come here, my child." And I felt his arm on my his hand on my shoulder, and I looked up. He was right there in front of me, looking at me with that loving stare. And I felt that warmth, that love, intense love. I didn't want to wake up. It was so beautiful. It was. And so much so it stayed with me the whole day, even after the dream, the vision. And so anyway, he said to me, he said, "I know what you've been through. I know it's been hard." He says, "You'll be okay. You need to go. Go. You'll be okay." And he was gone. The peace that I felt from that was beautiful. It was so much love that I woke up and I just said, "Mom, Dad, let's go." And I didn't look back. I didn't. And I went. So he came to me years later after my kids were gone, and I was going through a lot of problems in my second marriage, just before my awakening, a year before, through my work, as a hospice nurse. And I had these church people coming to visit sick ones, and they were come to see they were prophets. They were prophets, and they predicted things, and he acknowledged that God knew what I'd been through. And he said that he was so proud of me for keeping the faith, and how hard it was. And he said he confirmed things that I'd been struggling with, and he predicted things, and they all came true. So see, I went through a lot by myself physically, but he never left me. And I had a choice. I had a choice to just crawl up in a ball and die, which I would have if I did that, or go to him. And so how do I feel about everything I've been through? Well, I go through it again because it brought me closer to God, beautiful. And it made me, he was the only one that was there. And he always showed me how much he loved me, Sorry. It's beautiful. So it's a personal thing between my papa and I. And he's protected me and loved me through everything and made me grow. So yeah, it's beautiful anyways. And so my spiritual awakening, after that encounter with those prophets a year later, he drew me in. I had this intense draw to him. I was worshiping him in songs. I was in the Bible. He was teaching me through all of that, bringing me to numerology. He brought me to astrology. He taught me, he showed me so much, taught me so much, and then opened my eyes to things I never even knew, So, yeah, it's pretty beautiful. So my gifts have definitely become more prominent now. They've enhanced, they've heightened, the more trust that I put in him. And I totally, at that moment, surrendered to him. And, I gave my life to him. So whatever he wants me to do is what I'm going to do. And Now, and you know, everything I've been through, now I know that I didn't suffer in vain. You know, now I see the greater picture. You know, I know it from, you know, my relationship with him growing, that, you know, that this is what he wanted. He wanted me to, he allowed it to happen. Not that he wanted me to suffer. He doesn't want that for anyone, right? But it happened because, and I chose love. I had to have my part in it as well, right? I had to accept it and, you know, and grow from it and choose love, not hate and bitterness, which I could have, but I didn't, because I love too much, and I love my papa too much. So, yeah, so anyway, in doing that, it just opened everything up for me. And I know now that I went through it now, because I can be, if I can do it, being the person that I am, and you can do it. And you know, he's here for us, and he loves us and wants us to go to him and have him help us, and he wants that relationship with us. He loves us so much, you know. So I'll do it over and over and over again in order to be able to be where I am today, and, you know, be, if anything, of help to anyone else. So anyway, yeah. And another way is when my marriage was ending with my first husband. I'll share this one more thing. I prayed and prayed. There was a lot going on there, you know. I didn't want to be divorced. It was a lot of, it's so unhealthy. My first husband, you know, the father of my kids, but I didn't want to accept, and I wasn't ready either. You know, again, my fault too. I wasn't ready for this. I didn't know any better either. You know, pretty ignorant to love and what was healthy at that point. So anyway, I didn't want to be divorced. I wanted it to work so bad. I prayed every night again. I with my rosary clenched tight in my hands. And I mean, God, you know, please change him. You know, I don't want us to fail. I don't want my kids to be in a broken home. I don't want to be divorced. You know, I want us to work. I love him. He loves me and everything. I thought it was real love, healthy, but it wasn't. And you know, so I did that for a long time. And then, you know what I got? I got a message. Not what I liked, but that's really what it is. He said to me, Louise, I give free will to everyone. It's your choice, their choice. So, and then, so that was really hard. That made me very sad. Because I knew God could do anything, you know, didn't make that happen. But I understand. And that's beautiful. He gives us that gift of free will, right? So, and we all have our own journeys. We do. And that wasn't his journey at the moment, not mine. So I get it now. I didn't then, but I listened. And then what I thought was real love wasn't. And you know what came to my mind is I had 3 very difficult pregnancies, and he wasn't able to be there for me. It only was worse, actually. There was emotional, mental, physical abuse, a little bit even, you know, everything. And anyway, yeah, so it's when I told myself this, and this could help you too, you know, anybody that's in this kind of a situation, is, would he be there for me? Would he be there for me when I need him, when I'm sick? And I had proof that it wasn't so, you know. And if you know that someone can't be there for you at your lowest points in your life, well, that says it all, right? Because we all are there at one point or another where we need help from who we're with, or family, right? It's anybody, right, in our life. But our partner, if you can't be there for each other, have each other's back again, right? In whichever way is needed, then that's not right. That won't be good, right? You die miserable and alone and in pain and suffering. All these things come going through my head. So anyway, so he talks to me. I hear him, I've seen my angels around me. I have. And I see them in everything, So anyway, so that's who I am. And that's how I live my life, is through, first and foremost, it's all spiritual now, and it's all through him and my angels. It's wherever I look. My first thing in the morning is I talk to him. Good morning, Papa. Thanks. Give him my thanks. And then I look and I see where what he has, where he leads me, So anyway, I just needed to share with you about that. So unhealthy relationships. I'm going to just say a little bit of what I'm going to go into, and I'll be done with that for now. Okay, but just thank you very much for your time today. And I am going to, moving forward, I love to put a lot of stuff into my videos, it helps, like music and, editing all this stuff into it and the quotes and all that. And I will keep doing that eventually, because I do enjoy it. But right now, what Papa is telling me to do is just be authentic. Just let it flow, let things go and let it flow, Another beautiful quote that I always use is let go, let God. And I've done that a lot in my life. And he's told me that more than once. Let go. Let him in, let him handle things. So anyway, so I will. But for now, usually quantity isn't better than quantity. No, see, quantity isn't better than quality, the other way around. But right now, he's telling me, yeah, still have quality to it, but quantity. We need you. Editing and all that stuff, in other words, takes a lot of time for me, anybody to do, right? It takes me additional hours. So he's like, don't worry about that. Right now, I want you to put these out. And, so I'm going to be doing that and not focusing so much on having to edit everything. Okay? So I just wanted you to know that too. But anyway, so unhealthy relationships. I will be going into spirituality too. A lot. I mean, mostly it's going to be everything is linked into it for me, because I'm very spiritual and it's my life. So, just so you understand that, I'm gonna go into it deep with spirituality. But going into relationships, love and relationships, I'm gonna talk about toxic ones, I'm gonna bring up, what's in that, controls issues, manipulation, the lies, the deceitfulness, of course, cheating, I'm gonna go into things like abusive ones, mentally, physically, and emotionally. I'm gonna talk about, just talk about all that anyway. The imbalances in relationships. And and the other thing is, I'm going to talk about energy, because everything is energy and the flow of energy. I'm going to take these things off. I hate glasses. Anyway, so everything is energy. everything. Just a little touch on this, okay? Because just to see your energy, if you want to look at it scientifically in a way, you know, in the world we live in, everything around us is energy, gives off energy. And it's like that, you know, God designed it that way. You know, like when you look at astrology and all that stuff, when you follow all that, you know, God designed it that way. You know, it's so beautiful. He's in all of this. So I can go deep with this, but love is energy too. And, you know, and we want to keep that flowing, right? You don't want any blockages when you're in a relationship with a partner. For it to be healthy, you need to have equal give and take of energy exchange. That's love. You do. It's equal give and take of energy exchange. If it's healthy. If you're getting really drained in a relationship, someone is giving too much energy and the other one is taking it. Now, it can be intentionally or not, but that's not healthy. In a healthy relationship, you will energize each other. You will give in energy. And, you know, that's ultimately what you want to get, right? You want to feel like, you know, like you could take on the world, and you can, and, you know, anyway, you can just do anything you can create together. It gives you that creative ability, and abundance flows to you and all of areas of your life, you know. So anyways, we're going to go into that deeper, okay? So I'm going to leave you for now with all this. Thank you for your time. I know it was very long, and but it was important, I felt. So I hope you get to enjoy the summer too, by the way. It's just the beginning, and it's going to be great. Anyways, thank you, and I'll talk to you soon. Sending you all my love, all my light. Thank you. Bye.